Catholic moms use artificial intelligence to improve their life? I'm going to answer that for you. Sterling Jakewith. I'm a Catholic mom coach. And a couple weeks ago, they released this new free, I'm not even sure if we're calling it a software, right? But it's a website, openai.com, and they released this thing called Chat GPT. Gopher, Peter, Thomas, GPT. So Chat GPT, and you can just ask it questions, and it just knows all sorts of things. It's not connected to the internet, though, so you can't say, like, what did this person say last week? I mean, it doesn't know what the internet says, but it has a tremendous amount of knowledge, and you can ask it lots of things to brainstorm or just to get questions answered. People are going to start using this like they use search engines. So one of the things that I asked it to do is I said, make me a workout plan that covers all the different parts of my body for the whole week with no equipment. Spit out a schedule. Boop. And it totally did. It was like on Monday, do, squats and push-ups. And it listed different movements, most of which I knew, but some of them I didn't, for Monday through Saturday. And then on Sunday, it said you should have a rest day. One of the things that you can do with it is you can type in ingredients that you have in your house and say, what can I make with these things? I've been playing with it a little bit with my kids. I'm not giving them access to it, but I've been telling them what it is and they can watch me do it. And so we bought some milk. We had milk, which is not usual in our home. And we had some left over. And so I brought my daughter over and I said, okay, let's find out what we can make of this milk. And I said, okay, what would you ask it? And she said, what are some milk recipes? Which I knew was the wrong question, but we did it anyway. And then it came back with recipes for condensed milk and buttermilk, things like that. So I said, oh, do you see? That wasn't quite the right question, huh? And I said, let's ask it, we have leftover milk. What can we use this milk for? And then it gave us lots of options. And it's a robot. So you can just say, give me 10 more. Give me 10 more. And you can just keep asking it. Another really fun thing that it does is it will write a story for you. And so I will gather the kids up and I'll say, okay, I'll choose a kid and I'll say, what do you want a story about? And my 7-year-old said, well, I want a story about dragons and carrots. And so you say, write me a story about dragons and carrots. And you can even say 4 children, 4 5-year-olds. You can be really specific. And you can be specific about the story. You could say, I want a silly story. I want a story that has a moral baked in. And you can say, I want a longer story. I mean, you can just change what you're asking it all the time, but it's very entertaining. And then I will read it with great drama to the kids. And so part of the challenge of being a mom is we just have a million things going on and so much noise and our brain is just a mess. And so you can use this thing to just slow your mind down, brainstorm, and make some plans. And it will put things into a table for you, which would be like 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns, that kind of information. It will write code for you. I mean, there's just a million things that it could do, but I was thinking, what would I use it for as a mom? And I would use it for like a chore schedule. I would use it for recipes, meal planning, and you log in so it remembers everything. So you can give it all of your recipes and then say, okay, I want you to create a meal plan for me. 2 days with chicken, 1 day with salmon, 2 days with ground beef. And it'll spit it out. And then you can say, okay, based on that meal plan, give me a grocery list. And it will do it. And so you could say, how do I make homemade cleaner using vinegar? Like I have this idea that you can make cleaner using vinegar, but I haven't really memorized how to do that, but you could ask it. And what I like about it is it's just text. So there aren't ads. I don't have to go searching for something. So I have found that for quite a few things, it's more helpful to me than Googling something. But you could even say, I want to have a conversation with my teenage daughter about her period. What are some points that I could cover? It'll spit it out. And then you could say, could you give me those answers again, but from a Christian standpoint or with Bible verses? You can ask for things like, give me advice for my son on dealing with challenges with his soccer team, but then also thread in some wisdom from St. Francis de Sales. I mean, we don't have to Catholic up everything, but you can. It knows those things if it's old enough. So it doesn't usually know a lot in the last 5 years. So if you were to ask it things about the president, it wouldn't really know. So AI is coming, right? I mean, having Alexa, which we don't have, but for those of you that have one of those things in your home and you ask it questions, it's pretty similar. This is more powerful, and what it spits out is incredible. So start playing with it. And then most of all, I am beginning to train my children how to ask better questions, because that is what the future is going to be about. The future will involve a tremendous amount of artificial intelligence, but it only works if you ask it good questions. And you'll know, because as you start playing with it, you'll ask a question that's not great, and then you'll get a not great answer, and you're like, oh, I see. I need to ask with more, adverbs or adjectives and be clearer about what I want. And then you're going to see how fun it is. So openai.com, go play with it. Super cool. This is coming. We don't have to be scared. I think we could just figure out how to make mom life better with this thing. All right, ladies, thanks so much for listening and have a blessed day. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Catholic Mom Mindset. To learn more about growing closer to the Holy Spirit, check out our free resources at madeforgreatness.co. Thank you so much for listening and have a blessed day.